Hey everybody, so I want to do something a little bit different today. I wanted to give everybody an update video and we're going to talk about the Sol Nova, which is this machine. It came out almost a year ago now, and with the new release of the Sol Terra, the Sol Luna, it started making me kind of question my last 10 months with this machine and whether or not it was worth it or not. So I'm going to go through kind of a little bit about my experience with the machine, any concerns that I might have with it 10 months later. And obviously this isn't going to be a full review. If you haven't checked out my original video, I'll link it down below and you can check that out. If you have already purchased one of these or you're interested in purchasing one, I would encourage you to watch both videos. They're going to have different information in them. The first video I did 50 or 60 hours of work on the machine. This video I'm doing with over 1,000 hours on this machine. So I've put a ton of hours on it, and I'm going to let you know kind of any concerns that I have, if any of the concerns that I had in my original video have panned out, and you know, if not, what my concerns are. So let's get right into it. You know, upon first buying this machine or seeing the release of this machine, the thing that was shocking to me was that it was 1,000 Canadian dollars, which puts it up higher than any of the other competitors. I think FK Irons released the Zion not too long before at about $860 Canadian. The Cheyenne Sol Nova released for $999 Canadian. That's about $750 American as of today. And this machine was vastly more expensive. And what you got for that amount of money was basically just the machine and a fancy package, and nothing much else. So, you know, cost right away was a concern. You know, what's the value of this machine? Will it hold its value if I should ever want to sell it? Will it hold some value? And not only that, you know, what's the function like? Is it going to be a consistent function for the long life of the machine, or is it going to be a kind of a short-lived machine that I've just dumped a bunch of money into? So that's a concern for anybody, and that's the main reason that I'm doing this kind of follow-up review, is just so that anybody that's watching it that hasn't already bought one maybe can make a more informed decision. So, you know, I guess concern number one is cost. Concern number two for me was the mono plug. You know, if you watch my first video, you probably see me ramble for like 4 or 5 minutes about how much I hate these bloody things and how much I wish, you know, Cheyenne would change them, yada, yada, yada. I gotta eat my words, okay? Because I've put 1,000 hours on this machine, and the mono plug, you know, I think that they really did a little bit of beefing up in there, so that it's just a non-issue now. The little hiccups that I found in the beginning, I really think now we're kind of foot pedal related, and I probably spoke a little too soon. I did have a new foot pedal and a great quality one, but it may have just been a little bit finicky, you know, while being used with this machine. As soon as I switched, which was a couple months after kind of making the video, I never got any of the hiccups, any of the issues, never had any of the momentary interruptions that I was getting before. And I think, you know, in my defense, it's something that the Cheyenne machines often do. The Hawk Pen, you know, I've had 3 of them, and they constantly need this mono plug replaced. You know, and it's a huge issue. So, you know, again, in my defense, you know, I probably thought that this was going to break, and I'm really happy to say that it hasn't. So I haven't had to worry about it. Concern number 2 was this like whirring noise. It was this drony kind of and, you know, I can tell from the comments that I've gotten since posting the video that a few of you have also experienced that. So it's not just in my head. I'm not just insane on that, at least. And so it is something that existed. But again, I'm happy to say that within a few months, probably after about 150 hours being put on the machine, that kind of disappeared. And with the release of the new machines from Cheyenne, I wanted to go back and think about what were my concerns with the original, the Sol Nova, And, have those concerns panned out? And are there any new concerns that I should be kind of exploring, or at least informing people about if I can? And obviously each machine is different and each use is different and everybody tattoos different. So some of these things may not even exist for you if you're a Sol Nova owner and user. They may not exist yet and may pop up over time, and that may be true for me as well. That whirring noise might come back, the cord might start crapping out, yada, yada, yada. So what are my concerns with this machine now? My biggest concern with this machine now is about a month ago, I noticed something a little funny. Now, the sound of this machine, I'm going to splice in the original video section where I let everybody hear the machine for the first time in that video. And so I'll let you be the judge. So here's the old one. I run a Critical XRD. It's the new the new power supply from Critical, and it really runs beautifully on that. So you can hear it. And now here's the new one. Okay, so let's talk some numbers here. This machine, if you measure it on a decibel meter, it's 94.1 decibels. To put that in perspective, a jet engine takeoff at 300 meters is 100 decibels. 70 decibels is enough to damage your hearing if you listen to it for 8 hours, which myself and a lot of you are putting that right next to your head for 5, 7, 8, 10 hours a day, okay? So that's a concern. Now, let's talk about function. Even though this thing has become unbelievably noisy, the function is still perfect. It still runs perfectly smooth, it's very consistent. In no way does that noise seem to affect function. Now, I'm running this machine at 12.2 volts. The running range on the machine is from 5 volts or 5.6 volts or something all the way up to 12.8 or 12.9. So it's a big, there's a big jump that you can go to before you hit kind of peak potential. And I'm not at peak potential. I usually run machines pretty fast, but I'm not there yet with this. So it's not a matter of running it too fast. I've never even once used a cartridge that's unmembraned, so it's not like anything's gotten in there. It's always properly wrapped, every time without fail. And I've never had an issue wrapping it in terms of, the way that I wrap everything. So something in the motor is going wrong. I'm not going to wait for this machine to catastrophically fail. This is going to go back to Cheyenne over the next week or so. And I'm going to have them fix it under warranty. So what does that leave me with, right? It leaves me wondering what the value is in having a machine that I've spent $1,000 on when there are similar machines out there that are less money that maybe are going to last longer. So I also have to contemplate, I am working on a review for the Solterra, the Sol Luna, and those machines are $960 each. So it's two machines that the only difference in them is two different stroke lengths, and they're $960 each in Canadian dollars. And that's if you have a grip that you're going to put on it already. To have a Cheyenne grip, or if there's a disposable company that you like. So it makes me question if I got 10 months out of this one, am I spending well over $2,000 to have two machines that are essentially the same, but just have two different stroke lengths? Companies like FK or Inkjecta or, any of the other kind of prominent companies are letting us just swap out a cam, but Cheyenne says, no, you're not allowed to do that. You have to buy both machines. So, do I think that this machine has good value, even though I'm sending it back? No one's going to like my answer, and I know that people are going to be commenting about how much of an idiot I am for saying this, but I actually still think it's good value. And here's why. I put 1,000 hours on this machine. I've had it for 10 months. I don't want to do the calculations on how much in tattoos in terms of value, cost of what I've charged for that 1,000 hours is, but all of us need to kind of put that into perspective. So if you're a guy that charges $150 or $200 an hour, it's $1 an hour basically to use this machine, and then you might have to send it back. Does it suck that you have to send it back? Yeah. But if you tattoo better with it, is it worth it? For me, it is. So I think that I tattoo better with this machine, and I'm more comfortable with this machine than almost any other machine. And I think that my work has been better over the last 10 months, and it's improved. So for that reason, I still think that this machine is worth what I paid for it. Now, talk to me in 3 months when I don't have my Sol Nova back yet, because it's still in Germany being dickered with by some, amazing Cheyenne tech who's going to send it back to me, whenever he feels like it. My opinion might be different. But as of right now, I think that knowing that this machine is maybe going to fail in the next little while, and I'm not going to let it get to that point because, it's just a pain in the butt. I'd rather send it back now. Knowing this machine is on its way to failure probably doesn't deter me from wanting to try out the new Cheyenne machines, and doesn't deter me from wanting to say that this is the machine that I recommend for somebody that's looking for a pen. I think tentatively at this point, I wouldn't go out of my way to recommend the Sol Nova over a Hawk pen. Because I still think that, when I switch back and forth between the two, I really think that they really are pretty comparable. And for the money, you're not getting that much more. But if you're looking to squeeze just that much more out of your work, or you're looking for just that little bit more smoothness, this might be a good direction for you to go in. So these are kind of my ramblings on this machine from over the last 10 months. These are the things that I've learned, and I hope that it's helpful. If you do have one of these machines, like I said, it might be something to look out for. If you start hearing it get really loud, you notice you've got to turn your music or your podcast up. You go, what the hell's going on? You're not the only one that's gone through that. I've also gone through that. If you're considering buying this machine, you watch my first review. Now you're looking for the 10 month later, the follow up. I'm being completely honest. The machine has been incredible. It runs amazing. Every day it delivers. I've never had any issues with it, but it's almost as loud as a jet taking off. So that needs to be remedied. When I first got it, it was certainly a lot quieter, as you can tell. So hopefully that gives you all the facts, and it helps some people make some informed decisions. I still feel good about this machine. I know that a lot of people are going to say I'm stupid for that, but I still feel good about it because, I feel like I work well with it. And at the end of the day, that's what's important, right? If you're going to charge, a lot of money or any money for a tattoo, you need to be comfortable with what you're working in. And if you're comfortable, you're going to be more confident. You're going to be a better tattoo artist, I think. That's my 2 cents. If you want to check out my work to find out if you think I'm full of crap or not, you can check out my Instagram. It is intrepidtattoo_Anthony. I'll do my best to link it below. I'm not that good at doing these videos, so I can't always figure that stuff out. The original review of the Cheyenne Sol Nova will be linked below as well. You can check that out. It's on my channel if I can't link it below. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them in the comments section. I do my best to get back to everyone as promptly as possible. And I hope this video has been helpful. I hope that it helps you make an informed decision. So thanks so much for watching. Take care.